Hello. How are all of you tonight? Well, we are back and we are here with a special guest. With a special guest here. Who are you, girl?
Hi guys, I'm Shekinah. I'm her daughter.
Don't we look alike? Say no. But no, I thought that I would come on here tonight and we would give y'all young people perspective about what that mouth do. So Shekinah, we're gonna bust it up tonight and you're gonna give every perspective um about how we can tame the tongue. But in order to understand how to tame the tongue, we gotta know what we're doing with the tongue, right? So real quick, can you pray us in and then we roll into it? Come on.
Yahweh, I just want to thank you. I give you all the honor and all the glory. Thank you for this beautiful day that you have created. And I thank you for allowing us and giving us this opportunity to be able to live on YouTube and just speak to people and share your truth. God, I ask that everything goes well and is planned and that there are no technical difficulties and that your word wants to reach everything that needs it or seeks it today, God. And God, just thank you for your grace and your
Yes.
and God, sure,
I mean, all right. So let's get into it. So last week we talked about a few things, the cynical tongue and the hasty tongue and everything like that. So tonight we're going to do a few more that everybody knows about, and that is the cursing tongue. You ever had your grandmama, or you probably had me, right? Say, girl, don't be cursing, and then you be sitting up. My children, they kind of they are real children. They tell you about yourself, and they let you know the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And so, the children, especially my girls, they would be like, "Hey, yo, um, you do the same thing, like you curse." But watch this. We get curse. The word curse itself, we get it misconstrued with profanity. So we're going to actually delve into both of those. Cursing, which is the appeal or a prayer for evil or misfortune to befall someone or something. So basically, it's like, when how many times you get so angry and you say, you wish somebody died, you wish somebody break their foot, or you wish somebody break their neck, or you wish, somebody tell you their dreams, and because of jealousy and because of envy, you wish harm on them, and be like, you smile in their face and be like, yeah, girl, or yeah, dude, that's what's up. But in your mind, you sitting up there thinking, I hope they don't never get there. You ever had that happen to you, Shakana? Or have you ever done it?
I feel like it's happening.
Oh, you a little goody two shoes. So you feel as though that it happened to you. So what's your feelings about that? Because we also got to know that side too, like how someone will feel or whatever, and then how could you sense it? Like,
Okay, what tongue did you say it was again?
girl,
What was the example that you gave?
when you damning somebody, you hope they don't. get what they get when they say they getting something, or you say you hope they break their neck, or because you mad or you angry at them or something like that, or you envious and jealous of them, things like that. When you pray for evil or misfortune to happen.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've never personally done it because of the story that you told about your aunt. I think you said like you were younger, you had like good death in her. So that's every time like I think to do it in my mind, I don't because I remember the story. But I feel like yeah, people have done it to me because where I sense that energy that people do that to me because like I'll be in a good mood, and it's usually some girl that don't like me or and like I'll be in a good mood or whatever, and I'll be having a good conversation with the people around me and that person.
Right. And it's crazy and it's but like I was saying in all these past weeks, because I want y'all to know this is the last night that we're talking about the tongue, because we've been dealing with taming the tongue, the problems with the tongue and taming the tongues all all of March. And we know that by the world standards, this has been women's month. Um,
Women's History Month.
oh yeah, okay, that too. Women's History Month. And a lot of times people they get into their selves and they put out there some information that they good that they have done, and it's not so much that we have to concentrate on the bad, but how many know that some things that we do and that we don't know about or we're not conscious of is the very thing that separates us from Yahuwah. It separates us from God, from our Lord and Savior, from Yeshua HaMashiach, and nothing should separate us. And so we shouldn't be cursing people. We should not be praying for their fall. We should not be praying for their damnation out of our senses of emotions of hurt and disappointment. And so remember in the beginning, I also said that a lot of times we have misconstrued cursing and profanity. And so profanity, yeah, your girl had a huge problem with profanity. Yeah, Shakana, you want to give them a little spill on that? You use profanity?
Yeah,
You have?
yeah. Especially when I'm angry.
Why? What's going on? Like,
Well,
give a perspective from the young people. Like, why is that always the to go that go to tongue?
the environment around me, like I'm always heard people cussing me and things like that. So it's kind of just kind of like a natural thing to me when I become angry because I've seen a lot of people use cussing when they're angry. So it's kind of just like a thing that I picked up as being like a sponge put as a child. Um, I feel like we use it to belittle people. They're just belittling and insulting words. And that's like using when you're angry because when you're angry, you just
You do. You want to make somebody feel bad, and that's the thing with all of these tongues. None of these tongues that we have talked about all month long has been anything uplifting. And so y'all already have heard the statement: if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. So we really have to start practicing that. Stop belittling people because, like I told you, every one of these tongues, and you guys, the newcomers, you guys can subscribe, please, and like, and please share it. But you also can go back and look at the other videos that we have done on these tongues because these are the very tongues that we speak to Yahweh about, that we speak to Yahweh to. Like we're asking him for things. And then a lot of times we try to figure out, well, okay, why is he not answering? Blessings and cursings cannot come out of the same mouth. That's what the word says. Blessings and cursings can. So how can you bless someone in 1 minute or bless a thing in 1 minute or bless yourself, but then damn yourself or damn your brother or damn your sister? We should do unto others as we would have them to do unto us. And so emotional things, please, please, no profanity. I remember when I got married to my husband, I remember he told me, he said, that profanity that you're using, how about you pick up a dictionary and you find the word that will be able to give you, that will be able to present the facts in the way that you're trying to present something. So give the information correctly of how you're trying to release it. And so I was like, "Oh, look up in addition." He said, yes, because using shows your ignorance. It shows your immaturity. It shows how young minded you are. You know, please don't mind Shakira here because she digging in her Popeyes, honey. She hungry. So she while she talking, while we over here talking about
Mukbang.
what that mouth do, her mouth about to sit with the Popeyes because the delivery just came in. Also, we're gonna talk about the complaining tongue. So you ever had somebody that's just always got a problem? Somebody that's always expressing feelings of pain, dissatisfaction, or resentment. These are and some, if something is always wrong with you, then there needs to be a healing that takes place, a healing. And so, but the healing starts from within, you guys. It starts from within. And so, many of our tongues, the way that we speak, it is examples of the representation of our lives, of how we lived or what we have endured, or how we feel. And so what is in the heart comes out of the mouth. So if your heart is not whole, if your heart is not healed, then you will curse, you will belittle, you will complain, you will be hasty, you will be a liar, all of these things because our hearts are not healed. Um, Shakana, do you complain?
Mm-hmm.
You be complaining?
A
Yeah.
lot, especially when I don't get married.
Mm. So you spoiled. You selfish.
Selfish. That's pushing it.
Yes,
Spoiled.
because selfishness is all about you. So you just said, especially when I don't get my way. So you don't care about anybody else, even the person that you asking something from. You
In
just
certain
because
situations, yeah, I'm
right,
selfish.
right. You're selfish. So that heart, come on, that heart gotta heal. Now, how many people that we be around where healing really truly needs to take place? Let's talk about that. You complain because you don't get your way, but how do you know if what you want, if it's going to be good?
Mm. In certain situations, um, take into consideration, but not actually in all situations because I feel like if you always get what you want all the time, you're never gonna. It affects how you take failure because you're never told no.
Ah,
So
it affects how you failure. So then your reality is distorted, and so you live in a reality, and we don't want that. And so one of the ways that we can combat complaining is we speak positivity. The word tells us to speak those things that are not as though they are, right? And so let's say you did get a diagnosis. I'm going to use this example and it's personal. So for me personally, I remember in 2010, all hell broke loose. All hell broke loose for me and my body and mentally. I was diagnosed mentally with everything possible. I was diagnosed physically with lupus, with fibromyalgia, with central nerve disorder, with carpal tunnel, with neuropathy, and the list goes on and on and on and on. And at that point in time, at 2010, I was only, I say 30. 30 years old. I was still in my prime. I was still in my youth. I still had a lot of life to live. And I remember asking y'all, what in the world is going on? And so every time I turned around, somebody asked me, well, how you doing? At this point, I couldn't walk. I couldn't use my side of my body. I couldn't even lift it up. I couldn't do anything. My memory was shot. My long term and my short term memory was gone. It was so many things that just was gone. My vocal cords. I even had nodules on my vocal cords where the doctor even told me that I had to be for the rest of my life because I had did so much damage and I was not one to go run and have surgery done. I had gallbladder issues. I had so many issues. So anybody I was doing, I'd be like, girl, and just as long as it just took me to tell y'all all of that, and then plus more is what I would say, and that would continuously. And oh, my back hurt. I had back problems. I had neck problems. I had so many different issues, and I just started getting tired of explaining it every time, and I got tired and sick of my daggone self, and my children was so sick of me that they was like, Mom, go talk to Jesus. At that time, we called him Jesus. Go talk to Jesus and let him work it out. Because we can't help you and we tired. We don't even want to be around you because you always complaining. So let's be honest right now. Every time somebody complains, people they get irritated and they get agitated because there's nothing more that they can do. And it doesn't matter how much they make you laugh. It doesn't matter how much they make you feel better. You yourself have to do it for yourself. And so I became complainer. So um I started speaking affirmations to myself. And I said, I don't have fibromyalgia. I'm not bipolar. I am not schizophrenic. I don't have anxiety. I don't have depression. I am healed. I am free by the blood of Yehoshua. I shall live and I shall not die. Every time I even went into the hospital, even unto death, where I had no blood, no white blood cells. I had no red blood cells. It was crazy where I had to start speaking life back into myself. I had to get the word out. And I started speaking the word. I said, though a host shall encamp against me, I shall not fear. Confident, because one thing have I desired in the Lord that I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord and to inquire in his temple. I said, in the time of trouble, he shall hide me. So I started speaking the word. And so what I want y'all to know is to combat the issues that we have, to combat these tongues, we have to speak positivity. No, the manifestation may not be there yet, but if you speak it, the manifestation will come, because the more you speak it, the more you'll hear, the more you'll then start receiving it, and the more that you'll start believing it. It's just like it's the same way we even when we receive bad news. When we receive bad news, or we contemplate on that thing, what they just said. Oh my God, I got cancer. Oh my God, I got this issue. Oh my God, somebody just passed away. Oh my God, oh, I just lost my house. Oh my God, I don't have a job. We contemplate on those words so much that it makes us sick. It makes us, and then we don't have nothing joyous to say. We don't have nothing happy to say. We don't have it, but the word is it is our strength, is our light upon our. So we have to speak Yahuwah's word. So those are the ways that we affirm ourselves, and we resurrect ourselves back to the place of life, so that we won't use these tongues to not just condemn others, but to not to condemn ourselves. Because I know this to be a fact. If you're doing it to somebody else, you're doing it to you. Because how often do you do it to yourself? You overthink things, or you speak bad, or uh something of lack to yourself. Even when we say, I don't think I can do that.
I do want to continue to say,
This society has us believing that we can't do a certain thing or certain things according to their standards. But how about this? Has anybody ever taken the time out to define themselves and who they are in Yahuwah, and not by the government, not by America's standards, not by the people around you standards or ways of looking at that? Because doesn't the word says, lean not to thine own understanding? So if you've only been living in Germantown and you only know the way that Germantown moves, wouldn't you fall prey to living your life according to Germantown? But then you will fall to your own understanding, right? But he says, lean not to thy own understanding, but in every way acknowledge him. Inquire to Yahuwah. Germantown didn't make you. All right. Your friends did not make you. Yahuwah, the creator of this universe, created you. So seek him in who you are. Seek him how you should operate. Seek him in what your tongue should be saying and what your mouth should be doing. We have to truly start speaking life. So let's move on. We're going to talk about the retaliating tongue because when we curse people, we complaining. Because how about we complain before we even curse somebody? We complained about what was going on with the situation, then we cursed them, and now we doing retaliating. But we already retaliated when we cursed because retaliation is to return like evil for evil, right? So when I cursed you, you may have truly, factually done something to me. But the moment that I retaliate with my tongue, so because you call me out my name, I now have to call you out your name. And you want to know why we do that? Because of the spirit of offense. When are we going to start having faces like Flint? Offense. How often do y'all get a. And I'm saying this and I'm not trying to be smart because y'all generation, and if nobody knows, she's 19 years old. So her generation, they really move off of feelings and emotions. And the only time that you can get offended is if you've been butthurt. So which means your emotions has been attacked. Mhm. So what happens in the time frame that someone speaks something for y'all not to be able to think about what's the true meaning behind it and not retaliate? Because we in this retaliating mode in season where whatever somebody else do, now I'ma do too.
Yeah, it's a maturity. It's maturity, it's a mindset, and it's just about forgiving something wrong. Because when people retaliate, they feel it's the fear about the situation, it's the bother, well, in some people just retaliate as like a response to the situation.
Mhm.
Um, and again, it's just a maturity thing. Um, and it's not thinking and considering all of the outcomes and stuff of the action.
So that means that we have to start thinking before we do.
Yeah.
I know because this is a women's channel and we're talking about our ladies. And I know it's been said for some time now that we are nurturers, so therefore we are naturally emotional. Um, and although that is a blessing, and although that is a strength, we have allowed Hasatan to make it a weakness. Because instead of us thinking about things before we move, we base it solely off of emotion. But watch this, if we don't know the truth or the facts about something and we move and we speak off of emotions, then we're moving out of order and off of a lie. And this is why a lot of us are not living our fullest life because we have been operating off of our emotions. Yes, we are supposed to love. That is an emotion. Yes, and but watch this, even with love, right? We can't be selfish with love. And I'm going to explain this. If I love you based off of myself, I'm not loving you too much. I have to know who you are in order to love you properly because therefore I will give you everything that you need to make sure not what you want, but I will give you everything that you need to make sure that your purpose will be manifest and achieved by you. The Bible tells us, he says, for Yah so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Do you understand love was established then? It was established way before, but it was proven there because Yah knew his creation. He knew what he created mankind to do. He created mankind to be the one who overran Hasatan. Not, it was not supposed to succumb to Hasatan. It was not supposed to lay down to Hasatan, but to be able to have dominion over him, to have rule over him. He also gave man the dominion of the earth. He also gave man to be able to be fruitful and multiply and subdue, right? But what happened was he allowed Hasatan to come in and make something that was a strength of his a weakness because of his, watch this, desire. The moment that man looked to woman, because man was not far off from woman when she ate the apple, when she was talking to the serpent. He was not far off. He sat there and instead of looking unto Yahuwah, who gave him the instructions, who gave him the covenant, who gave him the command, he looked to the woman. And because nothing happened to the woman, his emotions started getting into it. And then he ate as well, which made this whole movement of sin because the command and covenant was given to man. And so what happens is we cannot fall prey to our emotions in order and offending Yahuwah in the things that we do, especially when we do it with our tongue, especially when we're retaliating, especially when we're condemning. We have to get back to the place where we love our first lover, who is Yahweh, who first loved us before we even loved ourselves. How could we even love ourselves when we didn't even know ourselves? All we knew was we was born in sin and shaped in iniquity. And nothing about sin and iniquity is of Yahuwah. And so therefore we have to get back to the place that Yahuwah first what he had for us, and that was living according to his commands. Nobody likes rules and regulations. I know I was born in a generation, I was born in the 80s, and I understand the young people, but I ain't go that far. I mean, I went far, but I ain't go that far. There's just a place in the mindset and in the heart where no one wants rules and regulations. They don't want boundaries. Why is it?
The flesh.
Do you feel restricted? Do you feel as though that you're not living?
More so for our generation, that's what it is. Like they feel what they're doing is self-expression type of thing, and they don't want to be, they don't want to feel as though they have to be like everybody. So I guess that's what you call self-expression.
Crossing boundary, right? But if you don't set boundaries for yourself first,
I'm confused, but what are you talking about? Like, specifically?
when we overstep our boundaries, you know how Yahuwah has certain rules and regulations for us to live, but we continue this never-ending cycle in sin, and we call it, well, I'm living my best life, or I'm doing me, but doing you still doesn't have any boundaries, doesn't have any limits. Not you per se, but I'm just saying a lot
No,
of
I
people,
know.
they live that way.
When it comes to that, I don't think there's a such thing as possible. Sin is sin. There's no sin greater than the other. The only sin that I know is an abomination is being gay. And all the other things people do can take you to and stuff like that. The same thing because it's stuff like that. The same thing is doing drugs and watching TV. There's no sin greater than the other. So I don't think that it's just like the person. I feel like that's a societal societal mindset.
It's a
That's not
societal mindset. And that's what I'm saying. There are no boundaries at that point in time. You didn't start with boundaries and you're not living within boundaries. It's like a free spirit. That's what I've always heard.
but
I'm free spirited.
I feel like you can't really say, oh yeah, I've done this and okay, that's okay, that's normal to do and then compared to what you're saying.
Oh no, you definitely can't do that. We're not talking. We do know sin is sin, but that's what I'm saying. There is a boundary. You can't overstep knowing what you're supposed to do. That's right, but you overstep that boundary by going into sin by saying, "Oh well, I can repent," or "Oh, I can ask for forgiveness." Oh, because my flesh fell, or "Oh, because I feel like doing this, I'm just going to go step over here right real quick." I'm not talking about that kind of person. We're talking about someone who does not know, but they call themselves just free spirited. I don't have any boundaries. I'm just going to live my life, whatever I want to do. I'm going to do. Even when it comes to what is the statement, the fluid lifestyle. You know what that is? Can't talk on
I've
it.
heard of it, I don't really know.
Okay.
But okay, yeah, there's a such thing as boundaries, but not in because he has to be certain things. Now, by man's law, there are boundaries. And when it comes to people that say they're free spirited and stuff like that, that's where they have to ask themselves, like, am I going to do this? Because then it comes to a point where, yeah, you can do whatever you want to do. You feel as though that you're obligated to do that because you don't want to be restricted. But is it to the point where, like, you're going to go against the law of the land, or the that that steps out of the person as something else.
And the thing about it is that
I don't even know if that heard me. I'm not thinking.
did y'all hear her? Because her voice is getting. I don't know why she talks slow, but she talks slow. But we do thank you. Give me a thumbs up or something. Let me know that you guys heard her, so I know. Um, but I just want you guys to know that being in Yahuwah there is life. If you're tired of being condemned, if you're tired of uh, being in lack, living in lack, if you're tired of condemning yourself, if you're tired of belittling yourself, if you're tired of cursing yourself, if you're tired of being the underdog, seriously, Yahuwah is the way to go. Yes, there are some boundaries, but it's protection. It's protection for you. It's protecting your anointing. It's protecting your being. It's protecting your greatness because you are royalty. You are peculiar. You are his creation. You are his beautiful Picasso that he has created, and he's going to have those rules and regulations to protect that very thing so that the beauty can continue to flow and grow. And so no, we don't want that retaliating spirit and that tongue to going back and forth, and we definitely don't want the accusing tongue because we definitely be accusing. We never want to take ownership of what we have done, because the accusing tongue is to charge with a shortcoming or error, to charge a wrongdoing to another person, right? Anybody ever been in a situation where nobody asked you to be there? Nobody asked you to do anything, but whatever you thought up in your mind, you just did. And even though you were there and you may have known somebody and you done picked up somebody in order to carry out the chain of events with you that you desired, you still accuse the person. And that still comes from not wanting to take ownership of what part you have played in the situation. How many people have went they didn't want to go to jail, and instead of telling on themselves, they accuse somebody else who didn't even have nothing to do with anything. Or let's say you got in an argument with someone and you fail to realize, because in the height of the emotions, we all tend to forget what we have said, or we all tend to forget what our body language looks like, or we all tend to not even know what kind of aura or feeling that we're releasing, you know. And so what happens is we don't realize how much we have already accused that individual, or how much we have error. Have you ever accused somebody of doing something and not taking responsibility for your part?
I usually don't get in trouble with people.
We got Saint Shekinah over here. This is why her name is Shekinah. I remember when Yahuwah spoke to me when I was carrying her. He said, "Name her Shekinah." That means the glory. Hallelujah.
If I've ever gotten in trouble for something, it's usually by myself. I've never, yeah, I don't really have a partner in crime to do anything with. So I've never accused anybody like in that form. But I have accused people of doing something because I thought they did something they didn't do it. But I always come back and like apologize because I'm a very like apologetic person, and I never like when people like say some type of way about me because I.
That's good. So,
Yeah.
which means if you are apologetic, then you are not so much discouraging. Because how many times, and that's the main way to make things right when you have an accusing tongue, is to apologize. That's the main thing to do when we use any of these tongues, to apologize. Ask for forgiveness. That's the first step in healing. In healing, remember, we got to heal from the inside out. Healing, we have to apologize. We have to forgive ourselves. We have to forgive the person. And then we have to do the necessary steps in order for change and transformation to happen. I'm telling y'all, it can happen. But what happens is when we do accuse, we usually do have a discouraging tongue. We usually do. And that's basically the case for a loss of confidence and determination. That's the discouraging tongue. You don't have confidence and you don't have determination. I don't have confidence within myself. I don't have confidence within you. I feel what I feel. I believe that you did what you did. I know that you said what you said. So I don't have confidence in you. And so I'm gonna keep reliving that on and on and on. I'm gonna keep thinking, and I'm gonna keep speaking it. You did this, da 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 da, and you know, I'm gonna keep going on, because the discouraging tongue goes right along hand in hand with the doubting tongue, because you're undecided or skeptical. You're in disbelief. You distrust. Yes, people can do these things to you, and yes, the word said the arms of flesh will fail you every time. But at the end of the day, we have to forgive. We have to be like we have to know that at times, especially when we are the believers, that we have picked up our own cross and bared it. In the same way that Yeshua was hanging and he said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." If it's being done to you, forgive them. They don't know what they do. A lot of people don't, because all they know is hurt. And then you also forgive yourself because all you knew was hurt. I had to forgive myself because all I knew was pain. I would talk crazy to people at the drop of a dime, and it would be very unexpected because I don't look like that type of person. And because I was also always so joyous and bubbly, that they like, wait, where did that come from? Because Shakia, she held her hurt, she held it in, but it would come out, because what's in the heart is spewed out my mouth. It came out there. You ever doubted yourself in something?
Yep. I've doubted myself in there. Oh, I do that all the time when it comes to singing.
And you can sing. Look, she like, I don't know.
I can hold it to me.
But that comes out. Let's just use that as an example. When you doubt yourself, even in that, guess what? That note is going to come out as doubt, like doubt.
Yeah.
When you get up to say a speech, or even in your writings, or um, probably something that you need to do for school, or something you have to do for your job, or whatever, when you doubt yourself, it comes out in your work. It comes out that way. We can't continue to doubt ourselves. We have to affirm ourselves, saying anything is possible for me because I believe, not if I believe. Because I believe. I believe in me. I can do all things through Yeshua HaMashiach, the Christ who strengthens me. He strengthens me because I don't strengthen myself. I'm strengthening myself by speaking the word, but he's the one who strengthens me. And so I declare with my faith, and rather discuss my doubts, I'm going to affirm that I believe. I believe in the master. And so because I believe in the master, I believe in his master plan. Because his master plan that is laid for me, I'm good. Everything that I even desire is going to come to me greater than what I even desired. Because he's the master with the master plan. That's why I gotta seek him. That's why I can't lean to my own understanding. That's why I gotta inquire, what you got for me, Yahuwah? Every day, all day. We got to constantly do it. But watch this. We have to retrain ourselves to do that because naturally we don't know how to do it. I'm telling you the truth. Because naturally, do you do it every day? Do you? Is that the first thing that you think about doing?
No. It's no.
And so we quick to do these things. This is a good one right here. I want to talk about the loquacious tongue. Everybody say it with me. Loquacious. The loquacious tongue is very talkative, characterized by showing a tendency to talk a great deal. What's that about? Somebody that just be talking.
Somebody's saying, I'm not a very talkative person. Personally, not for me. People. Yeah.
We are watchers. I will say that. My whole entire family, we are watchers because we are, this whole household are prophets. So we will watch before we start speaking. I'm gonna tell you something. Even when Yahuwah told me to go on YouTube and do this channel, um, I I did an inquiry and I did research about what is going on YouTube, what's going on social media, what are the people, what's the problem, and then as I researched and as I inquired, as I did things and as I prayed, and that's when he started revealing what people needed. These are the ways that we are disconnecting ourselves from, we are disconnected from Yahuwah, that we need help with, that we need healing with. We can't continue these cycles. I'm never going to say they're never ending because they do end. And I'm going to tell you how they end because they have ended in many ways, more than one, even with me. My children thought I was crazy in the past 7 years. They thought I was crazy because I will always go back and I will always talk to them. I will always ask for forgiveness. I will always, and they will be, and I'm talking about things that happened years ago, and they be like, "Mom, I don't even remember that." But I would have to do these things because I would have to heal. I used to be that type of person that used to talk because of the things that I knew. And I had so much desire for other people to gain that knowledge and wisdom of Yahuwah and for them to live freely that I was overbearing. I lost a lot of friends because I was very overbearing when I first found out who I was in Yahuwah. Now I had been in church all my life, but I had became very overbearing. And I stopped being empathetic with the people and sympathetic. And this was why the process happened even with me, with the sicknesses and the turmoil. He was like, listen, you're gonna learn. First of all, you have to learn yourself. You have to learn how you have affected yourself. You have to learn how you have offended me. You have to repent. You have to ask for forgiveness and go through that process so that I can clean you. So now when you do speak, you speak because I've only told you to speak. So this loquacious tongue, overbearing, talkative tongue, is somebody that just has to keep talking and talking and talking and talking. They trying to prove who they are. But those who speak because Yahuwah has said speak, open up your mouth and say these words, not the things that come to your mind, not the things that come to your heart, not the things that is in your emotions or that you think or that you assume, but only the things that Yahuwah tells you to speak. And so this is the last tongue. Oh no, it's not. Second to the last, indiscreet. It's lacking prudence and revealing secrets. I've I definitely have been on the other side of many doing that. And there are still a lot of people to this day that don't know too much about me unless it's in all of the books that I have wrote. Because I took that power back from people. I stopped telling people things. I stopped desiring people's ears. And the only ear that I desire now is Yahuwah's. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're my husband. I don't care if you're my children. I don't care who you are. I only desire Yahuwah's ear. Because that means if I have his ear, my ear is definitely to his mouth. Because I want to hear his comforting words. I want to hear his factual information. I want to hear his wisdom. I want to hear his instructions. Because he will give me instructions and he will give you instructions on how to get out of the situation. He will. But the question is, do you want to hear? Do you really want to listen? Are you really willing to do the unexpected? Are you ready to obey? And so, excuse my children, they loud. So the next and the last one is the silent tongue. It's not speaking and it's refraining from speech, failing to speak, communicate when expected. Well, the only person that should be expecting you to speak is just like I said, Yahuwah. If he's giving you something to say, then definitely say it when it pertains to situation. That is not the time to be silent. Will you say what he desires you to say? Will you say what he desires you to say?
Yes, I will. Because I feel like if you don't, and if God is telling you to say something and you refuse to say it or you want to say it in your own words, you definitely are completely to do it. And don't feel good.
I don't feel good at all. So let's not be silent about speaking hope. Let's not be silent about speaking love. Let's not be silent about speaking joy. Let's not be silent about speaking peace. Let's not be silent about speaking the things of Yah that will not just help yourself, because anything that you go through, you're definitely not just going through for yourself, but you're going through for other people. We overcome by our testimonies. This is no longer the old church. But you want to know what I know for without a shadow of a doubt? That many of us can't open up our mouths because we're still living in the problem. We're still living in the error. We're still using our tongues nastily. We're still doing those things. So then we can't really talk about it. we're per se more so about how to overcome or how to give somebody hope. But you can talk about it and say, yo, I got this crazy tongue and I be cursing everybody out. Let me get help. You can open up your mouth and say that because he says in his words, ask and it shall be given. That's what he says. Ask. Ask for help, you guys. And I'm not telling you to go to any old body. No, I'm not. But seek Yah. I know He will lead you and guide you. His Ruach HaKodesh will lead you and guide you into all truth. And He has somebody for you that is going to be able to understand and to be able to speak life unto you and not condemn you, not reveal your secrets, but they're there to love on you to make sure that you become who Yah intended for you to be before you were even thought of, before you were even manifested in this world. Somebody, even when it comes to our teenagers, somebody, there are people that have been assigned to Shekinah. There's people that have been assigned to you. Do not think that the way that your life is, there is no hope because there is hope for you. There is hope for a greater life. There is hope for your healing, both mentally and physically and spiritually. There is hope for you. So I speak to you hope, and I speak to you the peace that surpasses all understanding. And I declare and I decree today that you will seek the Almighty so that He can guide you and He can help you and He can cleanse you and He can purify you and He can purge you and He can uproot all those things that will have you bound, that will have you continuously being lack. He will do it. I know He will do it. I have a book out from Hold a Housewife. I know He'll do it. Earlier, I talked about the diagnoses that many doctors have given. I know He'll do it. If He did it for me, He can do it for you. He is the same God yesterday, today, and forevermore. So will you come unto Him? Lay down those tongues. Acknowledge those tongues that you have activated and that you have been using continuously. And come unto Him under His love, in His love. The one who created you, He knows everything. He even knows how many hairs you have on your head. He even knows the way your heart is right now. He knows your temperature. He knows every problem. He knows every circumstance. And because He knows all of that, He knows how to get you through. He knows how to guide you. And so all you have to do is just accept Him. Release all your cares and your burdens and take it to Yah and leave it there. So next week, we got some more juicy stuff to talk about. I pray that we have helped you guys about understanding what that mouth do. My daughter was tripping though. She was like, "No, that is not the title. Stop. That's not the title." I said, "Yes, it is. It really is." Because even though we already know what it really means,
Mm.
our mouth still does profane things. It does nasty things. Whether you're putting it in your mouth or whether you are speaking it out your mouth, it's just want to do it. Okay. So, what you want to say to the people tonight to conclude? She done had her Popeyes in front of y'all. Anybody want a drink? You want some chicken? She ain't leave y'all nothing.
Yeah. Thank y'all for viewing. And I hope that everybody kind of like learned something and was able to like self reflect. And it's gonna hopefully make some changes to their lifestyle. the way they use their mouths to speak to and about people.
So,
I
because you
will,
what?
I mean, I will.
You'll pay attention. All right. So next week we're going to really dive in into the healing, healing. We're not just going to talk about the healing with our tongue, but we're going to talk about the healing of our mindset and our inner man. We're going to talk about that. And we're going to do that the whole month of April. And how many know that we're entering into a season called Passover? Hallelujah. I'll talk about that next week. But if you guys are not busy on Sabbath or on Tuesday evenings at 7, and Sabbath is on Saturdays at 12 noon, we are in the temple in our temporary location, which is 4801 Green Street in the Germantown area. Again, that's 4801 Green Street. And we would love to have each and every one of you um, there so that you can get in on this healing process because Yah is doing a healing all over the world because there's things and places that people have definitely have to do for him, and we cannot be operating or saying we're operating in him and we're not healed. This is why people will not come in and desire to seek us, seek out the truth or seek out information or seek out Yah because we've been playing with him far too long. How can we say he is the God of order and we have no order? We're running around here like wild asses. How can you do that? No boundaries, not living according to his laws and his statutes, and no, they are not done away with. Everywhere in the New Testament, Paul referred to, he referred to the laws, the commandments, the order in which Yahuwah set for his people, his chosen people. So I love you guys. And again, next week we're going to go ahead all the way into healing. And until next time, all right? So remember, Hezekiah Walker, I love you. I need you. You need me. We're all a part of Yah's body. Stand with me. Agree with me. We're all a part of Yah's body. It is his will that every need be supplied. I prayed for you. You pray for me. I love you. I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you to survive.